The human being was made to question his reality. Here is provided a forum that evades and rejects the mainstream media, where ideas and topics of interest outside of the norm are free to flourish and grow in the strangeness and with objectivity that is their right. Join us now for a discussion from somewhere between the real and the imagined, between outer and inner space, where things just odd enough to be the truth have a place to live, breathe, and make their home. Recorded live from the jagged edge of reality. This is JAG Radio.
You better believe that's what this is. And you are at the place where guys get together to talk about guy things. Oh, but we're not talking explosions or rocket launchers or warfare or catapults. Oh no! We are talking the possibility that we may be seeing human evolution in real time. I am Alex Martinelli here with JD Marcel and George Antonio on the Super Audio Network. How's everybody doing?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? What's going on?
It's all better now. It's all better that the show started.
That's right. I think, George, we're having a sample of a wee bit of vodka, and I believe George has already finished his
Damn,
portion.
I'm on my second cup already, man.
That's right.
Yeah,
George
it's
pretty
is,
tasty.
It's really good, actually. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, you may want to slow down there, bud, so we can get through this thing
I'm gonna go
in
extra
one
fast.
in one
Fuck that.
piece.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Giorgio, you have got some stuff on your mind, man.
You know what? Alex and I were having a little conversation before we, a few hours back, and he was commenting about his friend that was, a friend that I've met, and she's a sweetheart of a gal, and she went through a recent breakup, situation, and she, goes to Martinelli. I don't know what the fuck for, but
I'm wondering the
but
same
he's
thing.
actually fantastic at and at slapping some sense into people sometimes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
true.
yeah, and
Did you bring condoms?
oh, damn. Apparently no, probably right.
No,
So-
I live on the edge.
No,
man.
yeah, fuck that. Raw dog all the way.
So she was, her. I asked him about her, and he's like, we just got into a fight, and I'm like, fuck, damn, what the fuck happened? And he pretty much what he mentioned was that she's stuck in the pattern of going back to her old man, right?
Oh,
Yeah, she broke with her old man for I don't know what reason, but she wants to go back to her old man. And she's commenting how it was I mean, I'm throwing words out
Go
myself,
with it,
but,
buddy,
but
go with it.
primarily like he was a wonderful guy.
Follow your heart.
Looking at the positives of the dude, right? Positive of the dude. While Martinelli's like, the dude's a fucking dick and have a good time, right? Go back to the fucking shithole that you were in, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to get to is
Which she did not say kindly.
Wait, did you literally say that? Go
Yeah.
back to the shithole that...
Well, I said
those are my words, bro.
you should
right.
have said that. No.
I know I did. I did say something similar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to get to is, how is it? And to extend a little bit on what we just talked about, she was shitting all over Martinelli, right? Basically saying, they got into a fight, him and her, and I guess they're not talking. I don't know what the extent is, but what I'm trying to get to is, sometimes when people are in a hole, right? When they're like in a situation, they want to hear supportive information that supports their fucking mindset, right? Like, oh, my fucking woman was a bitch to me and blah, 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 and she was a bitch. And you want to hear that sometimes. But sometimes a rational mind to get you through that crevice or that mud hole
Has to
is
spur
to say,
out the truth.
this was the situation. This is my perspective of it. This is the reality of it. You were in a shithole. Move forward, right? But sometimes
I
people
agree.
want to sit in their filth, right? What's up with that?
I don't know it's necessarily that people want to stay where they are. I think that they would change it if they could. But certainly women and guys, some guys, want to be... There are many people walking around wanting to be reinforced in their retarded ideas. In other words, it's almost like what she wanted to hear in that moment, and she's probably listening. How you doing, sweetie?
Hey, let's go.
She's probably
Kiss.
what people want is they want you to tell them that they're right, in a sense, that their ideas are not off base, that they're not fucking up their life, but that they are correct. And when you don't do that, when you tell people, hey, you're being stupid, you know, get the fuck on with your life, or listen, I don't give a shit. I'm not going to tell anyone how to live their life. If you want to go back to a shitty relationship, that's up to you. But I'm not going to pretend like that's not what it is. You know, you want to be treated like crap, have fun being treated like crap, which, by the way, I think a lot of women like and are attracted to, frankly. I think a lot of girls want to be...
With the bad boy?
Yeah. Or dominated or whatever it may be. Now,
it could go both ways.
Yeah,
I think, you know.
I've seen. I know a couple of guys that, you know, that's exactly their life. You know,
those guys are ginas.
Yeah, well, you know, but hey, I love her. You know, she's the best.
And she has a gina that I could use.
She's a fucking asshole.
No, and an
and
asshole that he can use. No, but I think George is right. I think the implicit thing in what you just said, George, which is, I think those guys do it and go back to these women who are bitches or controlling, or make the guy carry the purse and wear some faggoty pink polo shirt. That wasn't, by the way, a stab at gay people. I would never call a gay person that. I'm just saying a straight guy that wears a pink polo shirt is being a little faggoty. It's because I believe those guys probably think, if this girl gets rid of me, I won't be able to find anyone else to love me or like me or have sex with me or whatever it is. And so it's that sense, that low self-esteem.
Yeah, definitely codependent, right?
Right. Well, I'm wary of using terms like that because I don't know the average listener knows what that means. But, you know, well, everybody gets what low self-esteem is. And I think that's what a lot of that is on the man and the woman's side.
I take it a step further. Primarily, I think change is complicated for people.
Yes,
I agree with George.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and it doesn't matter what the circumstances are. You know, it could be a job that, you know, a supervisor, or, you know, whatever, your next door neighbor mowing the fucking hedges and dog taking dumping your flowers or whatever.
Yeah,
that's absolutely right. No, you know, it's most, and I think that it's an element of being a functional or successful or whatever you want to call it human being, that you embrace change.
Yeah, you have to change. Well, the only constant in life is change.
That's
right.
And if you resist change by staying in your pattern, you suffer the most, if I'm not mistaken, right? I mean, I think you suffer the most because life around you is moving.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Yeah, you know, from personal experience, you know, going through, you know, something similar, a breakup, it was very difficult to get out of, you know, I had that same life for so long, and then, you know, from one day to the next, it was just like it was gone.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it is definitely difficult to come to terms with the fact that your life is changing, and, you know, the best thing that you could do is try your best to adapt and move forward, because you don't want to go back to, you know, that shitty relationship where you're being treated like a fucking like a nobody,
like a perfect. Well, you've experienced this, obviously. You know, job loss, right?
Yeah.
That change of the supervisor, the employer letting you go, and you feel like you've been shunned from your family, right?
Yeah.
You've been like, you're forced to change now because
Right.
they don't love me anymore.
Oh, that's
Right? It's kind of like that.
Porque no me quieren.
I'm so not.
Papi chulo.
Oh my God, I'm so not wired that way
Yeah.
at
No, but
all.
you know what? I think because of my experience with so much change back in 2016, fuck 2016 by the way, but because of that experience, this new change with like job loss, and, you know, I actually kind of embraced it. I was excited about it because, you know what, I did accept the fact that, you know what, I'm going to have to move forward, and that's exactly what I did. And now I found a new job. Yay, me.
That's right.
Fuck you.
And listen, that right there is a real life example of what I was talking about, which is everyone out there. Change is an inevitable part of life. The more you embrace it, the better off you will be.
What is embracing change? Describe that.
You know, for me, it's essentially just don't. Okay, the underlying concept is don't get weird. In other words, and by what I mean by weird is don't get emotional, don't get depressed. When something happens to you in your life that you weren't expecting, don't get angry. In other words, limit emotion as much as you possibly can,
Right.
so that your rational brain has a chance to study the situation.
Right.
And again, D. Marcel is a living example, because He let us know. He let the JAG team know over the weekend when he lost his job. What kind of work were you doing, Jay?
I was working in claims.
Stripper?
Yeah.
Making
I was working in insurance.
Male stripper.
insurance stripper. Nice,
Yeah,
man.
insurance stripper. Yeah, there you go.
Right. And
Those fucking
he
tips,
let
man.
us know. That's right.
Tips and tips.
My tits were always
Well,
out.
they
bro.
both work. They both work. With
Fondled.
You
Fondled.
think you
Roughly.
can make money using those babies?
Big
Look at those
areolas.
things.
What's up?
There you go. Pepperoni nipples, baby. Man.
I got a website for you.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
damn.
Yeah.
I like
Producer
that.
Dre
now we're
chiming in.
talking, Dre.
Dre has a scoop on shit. He's better than Google, man.
You know what's funny? I did once hook up with a girl who had tiny tits but huge areolas.
Oh, that's weird.
It was a weird experience,
Yeah.
man.
My question is, how old was she?
We will not discuss that on the air. There may be police
For
listening.
legal purposes.
Well, we're not going to say anything about convalescent hospital or anything.
Oh, shit. Oh,
We
no.
won't mention that at all.
No, all I'm going to say is that if it was a young girl, then that just means that she was going to have big titties in the future.
Oh,
yeah. Oh.
expansion. I
Yeah.
got you. Room for
Evolution.
expansion.
Now, if she was an old lady with bigger, and I don't know what to tell you.
You're just sort of stuck with that the way it is.
Next incarnation.
That's right. No, but Jay let us know about his job loss when it happened, and I remember the next time I saw him, he was happy about it. He was, he was chipper. He was seeing it as an opportunity, and I remember thinking, yeah, that's absolutely the mindset I want this guy having. I want my buddy having. I want him to be happy. He was good money-wise. He had income coming in from all kinds of different random-ass sources because God loves you,
He's a
apparently.
pimp, too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
That's
thank you.
right. And and I know that it seems to me like that's part of the reason why you were able to find employment so quickly after you lost employment. In other words, Jay was without a job for maybe a week, less than that. At a time in American society where so many people have been out of jobs for months or weeks or whatever it is, and people are afraid, how am I going to feed my family? How am I going to make ends meet and so forth? Jay here's issues were a little different. I believe, Jay, wasn't it by day 3 you didn't see the end anymore? by day 5, Jay had
okay.
already bought a pot of pills to kill himself with.
Well, no, okay, and I understand your point of trying to put down the emotion as much as possible so your rational mind can think through and and move forward, like
Right.
I've been saying. But what I was really upset about is the fact that my bank account was really low, so I was worried financially a little bit. And then
Hold on a second. Didn't you have?
Wait, let me get to that.
Oh.
So at the beginning, I was like, fuck, okay, I have bills to pay, what the fuck am I going to do? And then from one day to the next, I checked my bank account, and I had, like, a good amount of money, and I forgot that my previous job that let me go, they give you back pay.
You're right, that
And
was
so
bad
I was
radio.
like, So I was like,
Sorry.
oh, my God. Okay, so I'm comfortable for a good while as I'm looking.
But
And,
you didn't mention the strip clubs.
Yeah.
And the coke.
well,
Yeah.
no,
And the
no,
midgets.
No,
The midgets.
If you have strip clubs,
Oh, I didn't know about that,
Midgets are getting
dude.
involved. Come on.
That's
Oh,
right. It's a
damn.
natural progression.
But you know what? I was fortunate enough to, to just do that and fucking look for a job and consistently look for a job. I'm telling you, like, I was looking for, like, I applied for 6 jobs at least a day, dude.
Nice.
And then eventually somebody hit me back up, and, everything turned out great.
That's right. And listen, your happiness and your attitude, however, wasn't dependent on the money. It was dependent on I am going to take this experience and make the most of it.
Right.
Right. And listen, I get that if you lose your job suddenly and you're a guy and you have a family to feed, I can see how the wave of stress would sweep over you in ways that you didn't anticipate. But what separates the wheat from the chaff is how you handle it. Are you going to stand there and deal with it and take it and figure out your next move and strategize and so forth? Or are you going to curl up into a little ball and cry and naked on the floor of your bathroom?
So I had the same thing happen to me.
Really?
I was at this last job and I was miserable at it. This place is terrible work, right? But
What kind of
Me-
work was it?
it was warehouse work. I was
Okay.
inventory, but this place had like terrible procedures. Well, I'm not gonna get into that. That's a whole nother story. The point is that me and my wife were buying a house last year. We have great credit. We have the money saved.
Shout out to Lady Boo.
We have all that shit that you need to get a house, right? Well, we
Right.
found the house that we were gonna buy. We were in the process of buying it. That's a whole nother story about the house, buying the house. But the point is,
Right.
is that I was trying to get out of this job, and I was desperately looking for new work, right? And right around the time where I'm buying this house and I'm looking for new work and I fucking hate this job, they decided to call me up, and they got mad at me because I was making personal calls on the company phone.
Okay.
And they tried to blame me for all the personal calls on the company phone. I was like, no.
That's fucked up.
My-
Were those calls weed related?
No. A lot of them were K-Rock. I was trying to win tickets.
Shout out to K-Rock. We love you guys.
And I did win tickets a few times. Anyways, I got to see Black Keys.
That's good music,
band.
man.
I like that
Seriously.
That's worth getting fired, man.
That's just
That
a
is-
two-man band.
So what
To go to the show.
So they wanted to blame me on this. I was like, nah, fuck this company. You're not gonna blame me on this shit. It's not policy. I'm not the only one who's that company. Plus, you guys suck.
Right.
And I told they know how miserable I was. I would always put them on blast because I'd be like, wait a minute, you guys don't have procedures for rejected material. So you guys just want this shit to collect? Like they would just want me to save shit.
Wow.
That's
Anyways,
stupid.
Anyway, that's a whole
Damn,
nother
Dre
story.
has some deep shit
Hey,
going on.
So the
with that
point
place.
was that I'm trying to buy this house, and the house thing is a whole nother thing. These motherfuckers were going into bankruptcy. They weren't telling us, but we're buying the house.
Oh my God, are you
The day they decide to call to verify my job, the loan,
Yeah.
is the day that they let me go.
Fuck.
Dre, you should have
Two-
called me, man.
2 hours prior to me, 2 hours after I got my papers, which I was happy to go. Because when they let me go, that same day they let me go, the point is this. I went to Staff Mark, and I got a wonderful job
Oh,
where I'm
nice.
working at. Well, actually, I didn't know at the time. I went to, he was giving me, like I could look, see what I found. But the
Okay.
very next day, he found me the interview for this one, and the day after that, I got the job.
Nice.
So by the time I went to there, I was happy to get out there, but they fucking verified my job. So the loan never went through, and I had to give up on the house.
Oh, man.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
fate, dude. You weren't supposed to be there, bro.
That's what everybody keeps telling me. I don't want to hear that shit.
You know,
I don't want to hear that shit.
I think when it comes down to it, like when there's significant changes in someone's life, it's a universal thing.
Okay.
Like
Nah.
it's a door
Talk
opening
about
up.
But
it.
I would say it was worth it because where I'm working at now, I'm so
Yeah.
much more happier.
Well, that's
Yeah.
George's point.
Yeah. No,
There's-
but why couldn't I get the house and get the new job?
No, the house wasn't set up for you, bro. You
Yeah,
can be
you-
all stressed.
No,
and
yeah,
shit.
the house-
Sometimes,
that-
sometimes you
better
can't
for you,
have
man.
your cake and eat it too, man.
No, you're right
unfortunate.
because the whole house thing was that was already by that point it was already the fourth strike on that house thing.
That's
Yeah.
what I was gonna say.
I'll tell you guys a story later about that shit.
And also, just based on what you've already said, you were going into a property that was starting foreclosure procedures or something
We
like
didn't
that.
know that at first.
That's right.
The
but,
fuckers didn't tell us.
but it was a
Oh,
trap, my
wow.
friend. You would have been
How-
caught in that trap.
However,
Oh,
if
man.
it had
not
a-
really caught, but it was taking longer than it should have. If we would have got, if they didn't tell, if they would have told us from the beginning,
Yeah.
and we would have got it done on time, we would have closed on the house. We would have had the house. Plus, I would have gotten the new job, or maybe I
Dre,
guess.
the house was probably haunted. It would have been fantastic for our show.
That's
right.
right.
Fantastic for our show.
Yeah, we would have been.
Well, we
it would
missed
have been
out,
a
but it's
totally
alright.
different location, though.
Yeah, Southgate.
Yeah.
No, but George, you were saying
Yeah,
that
you know,
all of this.
I think when there's significant change in someone's life, it opens up a door for expansion, man.
Yeah.
And you embraced it, dude. I gotta
man.
give you props, man, because you.
Yeah, it's dope.
Thank you.
You know, I felt
Shit.
you, and this is a change. You're like steaming ahead to move forward.
Yeah.
And I was proud of you, bro. I mean,
Ah,
that was nice.
yeah,
thank
no,
you,
and-
George.
well, all the
I'll
fluffy.
shit on you
Thanks,
later,
Dre.
bro.
I
All right.
appreciate it,
He's
guys.
right. He's right when he says that doesn't happen to everybody. They don't get a job immediately like that.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
listen, man. Jay
I was
had
very
to
fortunate, man.
Jay had to wait 4, maybe 5 days, maybe 5 whole days. No, listen.
100 hours.
Yeah. Listen,
I was
it
suffering.
it was no joke. I mean,
much information and shit, man.
that's right. No, listen. By day 3, he was already getting depressed. I was seeing dark circles under his eye. The point of all this is that successful people embrace circumstances out of their control. We embrace when things been that we didn't anticipate, but you roll with it. You
Yeah.
move with it. To quote Deepak Chopra, who I actually don't really like, but I like this quote from him. Although I feel bad for the guy, he gets attacked on TV and stuff by people who are better at arguing with him, and at which point he just starts yelling.
It is a skill.
But oh my god, I'd love to argue with Deepak. Deepak, if you're listening, get on the show.
Please,
I'd be happy
come.
to kick your ass.
Yeah, fuck you, dude.
But no, but he said what he said was life. Try to treat life. No, he's like some spiritual guru, whatever.
Okay.
He said try to treat life like a video game.
Okay.
In other words, when you're in a video game, you don't know what's coming up. A bad guy can be right around the corner. A bad guy can pop up out of nowhere. A weird zombie dog that you have to shoot with your 45 caliber handgun because I ran out of ammo with my shotgun killing zombies in Resident Evil.
Wow,
But-
dude. God damn.
It's you know, but that's how life is. Life will throw you things that you didn't expect. And it's up to you to think on your feet. And by the way, not everyone's good at thinking on your feet. Fine. Get good.
Yeah.
Get good at it. Work on it.
Take classes.
Taking that metaphor, the video game metaphor, a little bit further, that's actually a theory, man. That you are like, you're like an actor. You're like the first person shooter. That's what really life is.
I've heard that.
Yeah,
Ah.
like Musk, for example, Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
That's one of his theories, and it's like there's a lot of theories out there that it's a digital world out there.
No, it's
Oh,
funny.
shit.
It's funny. I've always, this is weird, especially coming from me, I think, but I've always sort of believed that. I've always had this weird sense that none of this is real in a way.
Yeah,
And that's the thing that keeps me from getting too stressed out about life, because as tightly wound as I may seem, when I get into the higher echelons of stressed out or tightly wound, or I want to just sock a wall or something,
it seems artificial.
well, no, I always think to myself, hold on a second, none of this is real. What am I stressing about? It's fine.
That's actually a really healthy mentality to take on. Like for
You
example,
hear that, everyone? I'm healthy.
God damn it. Well, I don't know. We'll deem them unhealthy in a little bit. But that virtual reality, like I take for example, I believe that's something very, very similar. Because for example, in my own dreams, I don't know if you guys all simulate with this, but
Talk about it, buddy.
but I've died many times in my life, in my dream life, guys. All right, and I've been knifed in the back, whatever the case is. But immediately, it feels like I pulled out the moment, I'm like, oh, it's coming for me. God damn! I say, God damn, like this motherfucker got me again, or something like that.
Oh,
Right?
shit.
And I pull out, to
No,
a
you pull out,
perspective,
huh?
perspective of like almost watching a screen.
Wait, so then when this happens and you say, God damn, there's a feeling like, oh, it's happening
It's
again.
happening again.
Wow.
So I pull out to almost like a screen perspective.
Okay.
Right? It's like I'm watching a screen that
Right.
this is happening
You're
again.
just watching
then
your
I
life.
pop into some other dream or whatever.
Oh,
but
shit.
that's I think there's some sort of validity to that.
Really?
Do you think, and we're gonna abruptly switch over to some classic JAG material. Don't do that, for God's sake. Why do you do that? God.
Oh boy.
A while
Did a schoolgirl just walk by? Is that what just happened?
was she
What kind of shit
Japanese?
is that?
Was she Japanese and 14? Jay?
You guys don't like my...
God almighty.
Dude, you gotta get a soundbite of that. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Seriously, put that on a drop. Great. Do you think, George, that these are possible glimpses into parallel realities, or whatever the fuck you believe in?
I think we do have like a reserved, a distant perspective of what happens. Like, I mean, I view dreams as realities. I see them as a virtual place where things can be played out or whatever. But
Really?
yeah, I
That's
fully
interesting.
believe in that. So
Okay.
so for example, in an individual or a situation where I get killed by some sort of assassin or whatever the hell
Was
it
he a
is.
black guy?
Yeah, it's like some sort
At a
of
liquor
Sicilian fucking assassin.
how dare
with
you.
the fucking
How
Oh,
dare you.
Sicilian
Silk suit.
assassin, huh?
How
The
man.
mob,
That-
huh?
I'm pointing towards Alex
That's
in
an
this.
attack. That's
Yeah, it's an
an attack
attack.
on me.
You know
But-
that motherfucker? He's going fucking down tonight.
Thank
Oh,
you.
damn.
Thank you for reinforcing Italian stereotype.
But you pop out, or at least I pop out, and I see from hindsight, the scene evolving. Then
Okay.
I move into some other, like I change perspective and move into another scene, whatever the hell it may be, completely randomly different.
Okay.
But I think that's a perspective of like you're the hub and you're watching the spindles or the spokes in the wheel, and you drop into
Oh.
another spoke.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jesus
and I've heard that
fucking
I've heard that comment many times in all the channeling stuff that I've heard that's actually pretty accurate.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, wow. So going off of that, I mean, okay, I science is sort of beginning to accept the idea that there are parallel universes and so forth, and people are living parallel realities. Do you think that's what you're experiencing in your dreams?
I think because I'm in a recessed, calm state that maybe I have access to the files, the lineages, the lines.
To
I love how
alternate
I
parallel
love how
universes.
I
Wow.
love how fucking George always just everything to you comes back to I know things.
I know.
I know more than the average
I
man.
fucking know, man.
No,
You know
seriously.
what? It's my dreams, bro.
George is the
They're my dreams.
George is the most quietly arrogant human being I've ever met in my life. No, one time
You're welcome.
We did a show once a while back to those who listen, where we sort of Jay was talking about like the soul's progression or some shit like that. I was deemed a Donald Trump-esque soul, which I'm more than proud to bear that banner.
Fuck that soul.
For all of us. How dare you, sir? How dare you?
How dare
And
you?
George proclaimed.
It's
It's the greatest soul ever made.
Yeah.
You've never seen such an amazing soul.
You should
No,
see the
and-
real estate on my spirit, bro.
That's right. And George proclaimed himself at the highest level of being. George proclaimed himself an old soul who has
Guys,
the wisdom of the ages.
It's
and
only
he can
because
see,
I'm older.
Right, and he can see the entire whole of eternity in his dreams, apparently. The whole thing comes to George.
I had to console these guys, man. I had to console you guys.
It's
I had to say there's a light on the other end.
You
guys.
had to drop some
There is.
fucking knowledge.
That's
right?
right. Thank you, George, for bringing your wisdom down
you,
upon
George.
the lowly
Welcome.
mortals.
In all your greatness.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
That's right. Ooh, I think I just came in my underwear a little bit.
Oh,
So,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, man. So, Jay, going back to your experience in terms of finding work and so forth, George and I were talking about how people who aren't wired the way you're wired, perhaps, or maybe they are, go into what George calls the scarcity mindset. George, can you talk about that a little
you know,
bit?
What is that?
it's
Yeah.
scarcity mindset. It's kind of like a mindset where it's like I have to find work. I have to find work. I have to find work. It's like I don't exist if I don't define myself as a worker person. Right. So
I
was
feel
ki-
that way.
Yeah. Oh, you feel that way, bro?
Yeah.
Tell us all about that. How do you feel?
Well, for me...
Lie on our couch, man.
What-
Talk about that.
Can I put my head on
Tell
your lap? For me...
What was your relationship with your mother?
Oh,
my mom is an anxiety-filled, horrible woman.
Oh.
No, I honestly don't. My life doesn't have meaning unless I have something to do in it,
Okay.
like work. In other words, this show and whatever else I may be doing, mostly, it gives meaning to my life. Like
here's a question. We spoke briefly a few hours ago, or I think it was the other day or whatever, because I have no understanding of time.
Ah.
Yeah,
because
I'm
he's
so
just-
I'm
he's
so
moved
large.
Beyond,
Yeah, I'm so
he's
large.
moved beyond.
I'm so
time
huge.
dilation.
I'm so
Time
huge.
is not an issue
George,
for me.
George essentially is the universe.
But
He
you know,
essentially-
we were talking.
Whoa,
I am. Yeah, that's right. Well, actually, before
Mr. Trump, what's wrong? Can I
Before-
make it better?
before we did mic checks, right? We were talking about time, and Dre all day. He was like, "Fuck, dude." We were talking about Super Bowl stuff, and we're like, we couldn't tell when certain events actually
That
happened.
was weird.
That was
a
kinda
weird
weird, yeah.
experience for me.
It's because we're getting old, man.
How
Yeah,
dare you.
Dre said
is
it
it
all,
because
man.
is it because you're older and you have more to reflect on, or is it just you don't have understanding of time anymore?
have more memories.
Yeah, you just have more memories, man. Like your brain is just so full of fucking facts and shit, and it's just
And
like
fat?
Yeah.
I mean, facts.
Whoa, for me, yeah, fat and facts.
Oh,
Oh
Cheetos.
my god.
But it's harder to retain like a whole bunch of other information that you haven't really thought about for fucking years.
Yeah,
or
and when
whatever.
you think about it, knowing who played in the Super Bowl is pretty useless.
Yeah.
right?
No, but what
I
I'm
look
ref-
back in my life and like I think to myself, why do I remember this crap? Who
But
cares?
referring to that, it's like what the fuck is time, man? It's like sometimes I have an issue with recalling shit, meaning like certain circumstances that
'Cause
happen.
you're an
I sat.
imbecile, buddy.
Yeah, I know. I pretty much.
Alzheimer's.
But sometimes I
Setting in early.
Sometimes I literally have to
kidding, buddy, I
think.
was just kidding.
He's tapping me on the shoulder, everybody.
And
It's
under
like,
the
it's
console.
consoling me. It's okay. But the thing is that sometimes I wonder, fuck, did I experience that or did I dream that? Sometimes if you step back from watching your, watching the clock or watching the calendar, sometimes if you pull away all those specifics,
Okay.
how can you measure time? How can you possibly
can't.
gauge?
There's no way. There's just no way. I couldn't. I mean, I think about that sometimes and like, what if I, because we're so in American society ruled by clocks that I think to myself,
Yeah.
what if all of that, what if I just woke up in like if I lived in a cabin in the woods or something?
Oh,
would I be able to tell time? Would I give a shit? Would
You
even
wouldn't
care?
give a shit, dude.
Right?
Dude, okay, let alone, through my experience, with this vacation that I had, I lost track of the fucking
6-day vacation.
day. I lost track of the day. I was like, is it Tuesday? No, bro, it's Thursday already. I
Jay
was like,
put on
oh,
about
shit.
Jay put on about 30 pounds. He had so much downtime.
Of muscle. What's up?
How did you shower?
He hit the gym religiously for the 100 hours.
Once every other day.
Right. No, listen.
If you said every day, I'll call you a fucking liar.
Yeah, no.
Thank you. No, listen. Like, can we sidebar real quick?
Right.
People don't need to shower every day. We really
yeah.
don't.
I love
Human beings
showering.
don't.
I
love
do
it.
too.
I
I
You
love
know,
do.
showering.
I gotta admit something.
I love showering.
When my wife doesn't shower and she goes maybe like a day without showering, she's a religious fucking clean freak. But I'm like, baby, you smell really fucking good. Right? There's something about that
That's what
to
I'm
me.
talking about.
There's something about that to me.
Listen,
You gonna smell her butt?
Come on, no, that won't go that level.
Come on.
That won't go that level, bro.
What do you mean?
Jesus, Dre. Dre is
Dre is like
Class-
fucking. He's
you're
like
on
the
it
other
today,
end of the
bro.
fucking spectrum, man.
the back end.
Yeah.
No, and it's funny because that's a real thing. No, that's
What the fuck?
Hey, my wife knows to keep her butt clean because I might walk by and smell it. Like, yo,
You're like a fucking dog, man. You know, I used to have a fucking
Like,
dog.
yeah.
I used to have this dog, man, that he would fucking. You know, my mom was a seamstress when I was a kid.
second shout out to Lady
And
Boo
my-
on the show.
And my dog, man, he was a German Shepherd, and he would fucking all the clients that would come in, they're hot fucking women. By the way.
Okay.
smell the crotch.
They would come in, he would smell all their fucking vaginas, bro.
Yeah.
He knows that shit, man. He knows that shit, dude.
Wow.
What the fuck is that about?
And they get away with
Hey,
it too.
That's something
they're
real. That's
dogs.
probably something all males would probably want to
No,
do.
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
can you imagine if those dogs secretly have like human intelligence and they're like, they won't give a fuck. I'm a dog. I can do whatever I want.
He's like, I
Stupid
died
ass.
and I came back
I
as
can
a dog.
I
And
can
they-
shit on this ground and no one will blame me. And I'm
Nobody
a
gives
dog,
fuck,
bitch.
I'm a
Yeah,
dog.
and they get in there, dude. They don't. they're not-
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
yeah,
like
they
the
definitely get
snout,
in.
man. It's fucking crazy. But what if it's like a reincarnated fucking perv
Oh, I
that
bet.
wanted to come back and like,
Like a-
fucking, I'm doing this shit.
No, and wouldn't that be
A sexual
exactly
offender.
wouldn't that be exactly the way it works? I mean, if you're talking Buddhism or whatever, don't you like go back if you fuck up? So this guy could have been a human
He fucked up.
who did pervert
Yeah.
things, and then now is a dog, but he shits on the universal law or whatever by thinking, now I got my shot.
And then
Now I
next
got
time
my
he's gonna
chance."
come back
He's
as a
like-
fucking cockroach or some
That's
shit.
right. Well, maybe it's worth it.
He's like that.
It might be worth it, bro.
schnauzer.
That's right. I mean,
You
he
see a
might-
dog's purpose.
That guy might
Yeah.
that guy might be a dung beetle though. I think.
Fuck, man.
No, but you know, that's actually a real thing, which is, I've noticed in my life, the women that I've enjoyed having sex with the most, have been the ones that smell the nicest. And when I hook up with Asian girls, I've hooked up with every race you can possibly.
Are you talking
think of.
natural
Yeah,
like scent,
natural
or are you
scent.
talking, like
I'm
perfume?
I'm not talking anything yet, but it's really when it comes down to what their body actually smells like. For me, that's the best sexual experience.
That's something different, man.
You know, and there's a real thing behind it, which is apparently, according to science or stuff I've read or what have you, it has to do with your immune genes, meaning the genetics in your biology which make you immune to certain diseases. So the whole purpose of human existence, or the existence of any living being, is to procreate. So one of the ways that our brains, the majestic thing of nature that is the human brain, lets us know we should procreate with this other human is by their smell, their scent. And when someone smells nice to you, when their natural scent smells nice, like I'm gonna actually put Mr. Trini Lomelli on blast.
Oh,
who-
damn.
I hope
He's
you're
probably
listening,
listening right
Trini.
now.
I'm talking to you.
Hope you come through, buddy.
Trini, let me know that he likes the scent of women's armpits.
Oh,
And the
fascinating.
right,
Oh, yeah.
no, and the reason why that is because that's how you get an unfiltered sense of this person's genes.
God damn.
In other words, our brain smells a good smelling human and thinks this person's immune genes are different from mine. I need to have babies with this person.
But I guess to get a real sense of like somebody's actual smell, you have to smell them like right after they work out.
No,
or
you have
after
to.
they,
No, you
they
have to
haven't
fuck them.
showered.
No, you
in-
fuck them is what you do.
Yeah.
It's the
I'm a-
best
I'm
experience.
with that guy.
Yeah, it absolutely is the best. That's why I like different races smell differently to me. And my favorite women to make love to are Asian women.
Well, that
Because
damn, no
they
shit.
smell the best.
Then
Yeah.
just
to
fucking-
me, to me. But to George, but that's because of my immunoprofile.
Okay.
To George, because he has a different immunoprofile, he may like white
Musk.
women or black girls.
Here's a silly question, but how is it that we've termed it smells like sex in here? What the fuck is that all about?
Well, it smells
We know
like
it smells
that's
like
obviously
vagina
ass.
and penis.
yeah,
bro.
right.
And
It's
ass.
something
Yeah.
to that, man. It's like
An
a
ass,
salty
yeah.
smell or something.
Back to the butt, so you
But
can
this-
smell it. Would you sniff it? Is what I'm saying.
I think we know what Dre likes.
To quote Bernie
He's a
Mac,
German Shepherd, actually, people.
Well, Dre likes women for their souls. I think. I don't think he's got any. I don't think the sex has anything.
I smell
to do with it.
I smell their soul.
the ass of their
Fucking
soul.
I give it to the cheeks of their soul, and I smell it.
Oh my god! Oh, this is
So
why
ass.
having Dre Day all day on the mic is always questionable.
Yeah.
I love it. It's fun.
Yeah, no, and it's one of the ways in which human beings find mates, I think. And it's funny, I was actually, speaking of relationships, I was having an internet debate with this cunt of a woman who, and normally, look, I'm so not this guy. I don't waste my time with stupid shit like internet forums and, going after trolls or any of that. I have better things to do with my fucking time.
But what did she do?
Oh, that's what I'm getting. Yeah, no, I got baited, which
Oh.
is this woman.
Masturbated.
This woman was. I wish.
I had to walk into that
That's
one.
really-
Sorry.
Thank you. George just dropped the guillotine on my penis.
Guillotine?
Yeah, that's right. It's gone now. It's half its original size.
Fuck, man.
No, so it makes me average now.
Oh,
man. there you
just
go.
dropped
Cigar
your IQ.
cutter.
Yeah,
Whoa.
there you go.
Hey, I'm here all night.
Hey,
That's
hey, hey.
Be
Thank
on
you.
next week, guys.
But next Wednesday. But
not
she's
next
taught.
Wednesday.
She's. Oh, that's right. Oh,
Oh, what's going on?
All right.
yeah.
Let's talk about that later. then
Yeah,
on
no,
the show. But this woman's talking about how she doesn't think that in the modern day, men are okay. It's asked of men to make the first move or initiate contact with somebody they're involved with, whereas I'm saying, if you're a guy, if you see a girl that you like, a hot girl, you're gonna have to approach her. You're gonna have to be the one
Okay.
to initiate contact.
Okay.
And it's been this way for many millennia. And look, I wish it wasn't this way, but we live in a world where guys are expected to take the lead in this situation. And this chick is saying, no, it's not. This internet dumbass is saying, no, it isn't, because we live in a different world now and everything is digital. It's a digital age and blah, blah, blah bullshit. And I'm saying, and I just said something snarky, like I said something very quick, like you've been in college for too long, because that's what colleges preach, or
This
like
is the guy with the bachelor's degree.
that's right. Oh, the biggest regret of my life. Thank you very much. Fucking wish I could send that thing back.
How much you owe?
Tens of thousands, man.
Yes.
Tens of thousands.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even want to check anymore, to be honest. I'm afraid to like look at it. It's actually in default. It's actually
default. Oh shit.
Yeah,
no.
because
that's no joke. They start deducting from your check.
I bring it, you bunch of faggots.
Don't
But
get
it,
from
but
the
it,
check.
really, what it is I don't care. Let them come after me. Come get me, dicks.
there you go.
But that's right. And I said, you've had too much college and you've read too much Huffington Post. And she responded with, well, I'm not in school and I don't even go on that website. What are you trying to say? To which point that's what baited me. And I said, what I'm saying is you're a fucking idiot and you don't know what you're talking about, because blah, blah, blah. And this led to a big discussion. So, which I won, of course.
Yeah.
But my question to you guys is this: is she right? Do we? Okay, I'm willing to think that maybe things are changing, but as I've experienced life, it seems to me that, and it's always been this way, men have to be the ones in dating who initiate.
Yes.
and no.
Yes and no, but I'm going to take this a little bit further.
Yeah.
I think it's the chick. The guy gets a signal to move on, right? Like, for example, in my relationship with my wife, and, my wife I love her to death. And in our relationship, it's always been a cat and dog type of, well, not cat and dog. I always
Talk about butt sniffing.
Oh, damn, here comes Dre again. Dre, hold it back, bro.
Hey,
hold
so
it back.
do you ever like sniff it right after she gets out of the shower? Like when it's clean? At least when it's clean.
God damn. There comes Dre. He was taking it in. He was inhaling, ready to go with
shit.
that one. But I think, a guy only moves in on a woman when she gives a certain signal.
Okay.
Right? So I think generally women may initiate it subliminally somehow.
Okay.
And then the guy thinks he's in power, but I think generally chicks are in
No,
power.
but I don't
man.
give a fuck about the subliminal stuff. I'm saying who makes the decision.
No,
to move
you know
the
what?
action part? Yeah, it's a
Yes,
guy.
of
Generally,
course it is.
generally.
Of
Yeah,
course
generally.
Generally
it
the
is.
guy, yeah.
Right.
But you know what? It is changing. You're right. There is a change, especially
I mean, she
we're
was
in
right,
2017, especially with the internet, like Tinder and
Oh, that's the argument that
other-
Colin was making.
Yeah.
But you know what? Yeah, I say that's a possibility where it may level, or it gives her a little bit more power to choose who she may be initiating with.
Okay.
But ultimately, you can't fuck online, right?
No.
So you have to meet the person in
I
person.
mean, you can try.
Yeah, you can
No,
try,
and
but it
that's
doesn't work
what
very
that's
well.
what everybody else who was involved in the discussion. That's the argument they were making, which is that even if it is online,
Yeah.
it's still up to the man ultimately to set everything up.
But there's certain circumstances, certain couplings of people.
No, but I'm
that
saying
are
for
more
the
than-
most part.
Yeah,
For the most part, right?
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
right.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. No, look, and look, I wish he was right. See, here's the thing. It's not that I would have a problem with women initiating. I would love that.
Yeah.
But we don't live in that world, is my point. You need to take reality as it is. And this goes for every aspect of life. Take reality as it is, everybody.
But say you dated someone, say you found someone online that
Okay.
that was aggressive.
Okay.
So she would want to be taking control of, and that would be a mismatch, and you probably break up. It wouldn't work out the first time.
After sex.
For-
So she's obviously looking for a mate that's recessive, right? And you looking for the opposite.
For Jay, I don't think that would be a deal breaker, would it?
You know what? If she was
J.D.
initiating all the
Marcel?
way, if she was like aggressive, no, I don't know. I would still have to find out, what kind of person she is, and I'm a big person on intelligence. So if she is the aggressor and then she's super fucking intelligent and she's really cute or fucking very
I
pretty,
think you just described George's wife. I think you just described
shit.
No,
yeah.
in spite of my wife being so
Can I meet
independent,
No,
and
but
that's who she
aggressive,
is,
she's
right?
recessive. She lets me make the move,
yeah.
and I wouldn't
Okay.
feel comfortable in a relationship if I wasn't the one aggressing.
Yeah,
Okay.
Right?
there
It wouldn't
you
be.
go,
It wouldn't
buddy.
be. It's funny. It's a funny circumstance. But I've been in a little fling that was the opposite was the case.
Okay.
She was a little bit older than I was at the time. Right?
she knows what she wants.
But it was kind of fucking fun, bro.
Yeah.
Being like fucking, driving down the fucking road and having your dick sucked at the fucking same time.
oh,
on.
You know?
shit.
It's like that was kind of crazy,
This
but I was
is like
like,
a whole
I didn't
new
even
side to
initiate this
George.
whole shit.
No, I feel like
was crazy.
I feel like George is like he's almost like the guy who you walk into his apartment and it's hardwood floors and it's a window overlooking the skyline of whatever city you're in and everything's clean, except for there's a weird room that's locked in the back that he won't let anybody go into.
That's where my skeletons are, bro.
That's right.
Yeah, you're lying. That's where your Legos are.
Yeah, that's my Lego skeletons.
And there's
That's where
girls
you're-
and they're playing with them.
There's where your whips are at, and
Oh damn.
The whips and
You know,
chains.
let's talk about that. Whips, chains, and dips. Well, actually, whips and sadistic or what do they call it?
like
S&M.
dominatrix stuff.
What do you guys think about that stuff, man?
You know what? That's kind of fucking out.
That's
of my
harsh,
range.
man.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. That's a big
I'm not
turnout
in-
for me.
But you know what? A lot of people are into it. I saw
Yeah.
that. I saw.
is that?
I think it was on American Horror Story, and in one scene, this chick was the dominatrix, and she was with. It was takes place back in like the 1940s, and there was a soldier, and he was made to sit on this fucking toilet with a bunch of nails
Oh my
attached to
God.
it.
God damn.
And as he sat down, he was in excruciating pain, and you could tell. But he was like, "Oh, danke, thank you." In
Oh,
German,
German,
like
German, I
He
think.
likes that, and a lot of people fucking like that. You know, they like to be
Pain.
dominated. They like pain.
Well, it's no accident that you're talking Germany here. I mean, those people are nutty, man.
kinda freaky, isn't
God, those people are something else. Those guys and the Japanese. I mean, for God's sake, in Japan,
Japanese is a whole other level.
Oh,
they have
no,
squid porn.
Dre.
They have squid porn.
he's not playing.
No, dude. What is
yeah.
that?
squid porn.
Like
yeah.
you mean? Are you talking about like the marine animal, dude? Like
yeah,
the
yeah.
squid?
Yeah.
They get a squid and they let it enter your.
Oh,
but
my
JJ.
But
goodness
JJ.
Yeah.
gracious!
Yeah.
You know about this stuff?
Yeah, I've heard. I've
Listen.
heard
Oh
about
my
it.
You've
God.
heard of it. You've seen it. Bro.
Heard, quote
How
unquote.
can you hear about squid porn and not go directly to the internet and search it and watch a video just so you can be like, okay, I seen it.
You know what? You're influencing hundreds of thousands
I'm
of
telling you,
maybe
there's-
one person.
There's a whole bunch of fucking categories that
Hey,
people are
hey,
into
so
sexually.
one more
man.
thing. My grandpa told me if you lick a penny, that tastes like an asshole.
Oh.
Uh,
All right.
Well, now I have a reference. Thank you.
Oh man, it's a
Hey.
lineage, man. It's a lineage, bro. It's a
That's
lineage, man.
Does anybody have a penny by any
Oh,
chance?
Are we talking copper penny? Pre 79?
I can give you my penny, but it's been in my ass.
All right.
No, no, and it's funny though because I swear to Christ, nothing that the Japanese do surprises me, and there are so many radio hosts, and you know who you are. I'm not gonna name you, but guys who talk about how the Asians are the pinnacle of human whatever. The Asians are just, I mean, God, those countries are into some nasty shit.
Sexual
Here's a question.
exploration.
Here's a question.
man.
Do you think that all reflects on their controlled
Yes,
academic life?
abso-fucking-lutely.
So it needs a release somehow?
Yeah, probably.
1,000%.
Yeah.
I mean, goddamn, when you have a society, and I don't know if Japan is still this way, but I know that at one point people were being overworked so badly that they were like businessmen were jumping out of high-rise buildings, or people in the and you know you have kids.
That's China.
Right? Or the Asian,
Foxconn and shit.
the Asian
yeah.
countries.
Oh, fuck up, Fox.
Yeah, out there where it's
Suicide nets.
right.
Oh,
That's right. No, it's there are
Really?
nets that
No
are set
shit.
up beneath buildings to
Oh
keep
my
people from
God.
killing themselves.
Yeah.
It's that
Oh my
bad.
God.
Wow.
It's that bad. Although I would totally just do that just to do it, like just to jump out a window.
Jump on the net. What if you miss the net?
Alex,
That's part of the
this is
fun.
the third time you jumped in the suicide net. But I just want to end it all. Stop it. You're
Go
just
back
jumping
to
out there for fun.
Go back to work. You got a shift coming up.
Okay,
right.
Marnelli, then
Yes.
let me ask you something. Are you a big thrill seeker? Like, would you like jump out of a plane?
Absolutely.
Would you like jump over a fucking school of buses like on your motorcycle?
I don't have a motorbike, but I'm really the idea of jumping out of a plane really excites. I love that.
Okay.
I actually there's something that people do now that seems to scare all my other friends who are into this stuff, but I'm all about it, which is
Heroin.
that's right. That's how I maintain my girlish figure.
Oh,
No,
shit.
it's
you should see him in a thong, bro.
getting on a
Yeah.
George. That's between
Yeah.
us.
All right, goddamn it. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring
was-
that out.
And you said you wouldn't talk about that on the air, so
He's
I
kind
feel
of sad
betrayed.
right now.
Right. I'm crying through my sunglasses.
Hey, would you ride the ride at Six Flags, the Lex Luger ride?
I don't even know what that is.
The Lex Luthor, I've heard about it. I haven't been to Six Flags in years, dude.
Oh, sorry.
Fuck.
I just you sound down to do shit. I was wondering because I chickened out.
Oh no! If it's a ride, I'm super down.
I
I'm-
chickened
yeah.
out.
No, I would oh yeah, but like I was saying, it's sorry, Jay.
No. I feel bad for interrupting.
Oh,
Go ahead.
It's all gravy, babe. Oh, how polite of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's all cordial here.
That's funny. After all the butthole licking talk, now he feels bad.
Hey,
for
so back to
interrupting
that
me.
real quick. Let's bring it up. I'm gonna talk about it.
Yeah, real talk.
Right. With the Jack Show. No, it's something that I've wanted to do for a while, which guys seem to be afraid of. There's this thing where you get up in a chopper and they tie a bungee cord to the bottom of the chopper to jump. I would love that.
what
How
the
awesome would that
fuck?
You know
Yeah.
what? That
Dude.
bungee thing, experience thing. I'd normally be all for it, but that head rush from that whipping of the fucking elastic cord,
Oh.
that's not cool, man. I'd rather jump out of a fucking plane.
be? George,
Not a big
you
deal.
have these weird nuances of feeling that you avoid in life. I feel like no, because George is a guy who he's Cuban. He's of a Cuban lineage. so-
Cubano chico.
That's
Damn, thank you,
Puro
bro.
cubano.
you,
That's right.
Scarface.
And he, that's why any of you guys who are watching on the video stream see him enjoy his Cuban cigar
Oh, yeah.
every little puff. But he digs.
Yeah.
That's right. That's actually George saying that.
Oh man,
And you'll see him like he drinks straight espresso, but you have this weird thing where you drink your coffee where you only like the very top of it or something like that.
it's
the-
yes, bro. He knows what he's talking. He knows what I'm talking
It's
about.
because he's Cuban B too.
Oh damn,
It's called El
Straight
Creme. El Creme.
El creme.
El creme.
Yeah, so I feel like that's a little bit of what that is. It's sort of like, well, will I jump off a bridge and put my life in peril with nothing but a big rubber band attached to the bottom of that structure and the rest of my feet? Yes, except for I don't like the way it makes my head hurt kind of weird.
Yeah,
sometimes.
that's what it is. I don't want to have bloodshot eyes when I'm done with it.
you know what?
I mean?
First of all, like I'm afraid of heights, and so I wouldn't be down. First of all, and I've seen a lot of videos where the fucking bungee snaps. So fuck that,
No,
dude.
and you know what the funny thing is? I feel like when it comes to what people are down for, or their sort of thrill-seeking, how the thrill-seeking gene sort of expresses itself.
Yeah.
By the way, it's funny. For those of you who understand addiction, or Jay, about to go into the addiction field with your new job, the thrill-seeker gene tends to be found a lot in addicts.
Yeah.
Which is why there's so much substance in this room right now. I think part of it.
Oh.
But the point I was gonna make is, that gene expresses itself differently, I think, in lots of other people, which is, I'll tell you guys a funny experience I had with Mr. J.D. Marcel, which is at the Super Audio Network year-end show. There was a lot of substance being thrown around, as you guys would imagine, by the Hotbox and by all those guys. Shout out to those guys, by the way, Trey Dots.
Shout out, Hotbox.
And Fix.
Fix.
Someone came up to me and Jay, who were talking at the time, with a bong, right? They said, hey, take a bong rip. And then they said, well, there's moon rocks in the bowl.
The moon rocks.
And
Never heard of that, man.
and I said, and then Trey Dots, who was there with us, goes, man, you trying to kill niggas? and Jay, who just casually took a hit like it was nothing. And I said, Jay, do you understand that moon rocks are heroin, like dipped in like cocaine, right? And Jane just kind of looks at me and he's like, yeah, and? And I just go, okay, then, fair enough. And it's just funny how the guy who refuses to jump out of a plane thinks nothing of putting heroin into his body.
No, well, it was already too fucking late. I was like, you told me like right after, so I was like, okay, well, I need to keep calm now.
Can exhale really, really fast and make it go away?
What?
It maybe it didn't work with PCP, but you can try it with that.
No.
That's right.
But it wasn't that though.
No, it was something. It ended up being something else.
But that thrill-seeking type of gene, it spills over into a lot of things. Like spills into business, fucking relationships, like sexual addiction, all kinds of shit like that.
Yeah, most definitely.
Listen, all of you guys out there listening, to our listening audience, however many of you there may be, if you know, I mean, here's the thing, I feel like most people already know this who have this sort of genetic makeup, but when you are the guy who was jumping off the roof and you were 12, 13, 14 years old of your mom's house just to see if you could do it, you might want to stay away from alcohol and other addictive substances.
God damn, dude. I used to jump off with a fucking trash bag.
Oh,
think it was a parachute,
you know what?
man.
Give me your cup.
That's so cool, though. Hey, I was a backyard wrestling champion.
Oh, damn. There you go, brother. That's how it is, dude.
Champion, you say,
champion. Tag team champion.
Damn.
So am I saying like Cuban people are fucking like thrill seekers?
They
thrill
crazy,
seekers,
man.
Nah, hell nah.
No, they're
because I can't ride that Lex Luger ride. I can't ride it. I check it out.
Right.
Check it out.
No, buddy, I'll tell you what. Me and you will go together. I'll get you through it.
Hold hands though, man. Hold hands.
You gotta hold ass cheeks.
Here's-
I was about to say, hold my head.
Here's the funny thing, but when you're a fucking kid, you don't care about that shit. But when you get older,
That's
you're
right.
fucking like reality slaps you in the face and
Yeah,
you're mortal.
most definitely.
It's
Eventually.
that and my insurance doesn't cover it.
It's a very pragmatic reason.
Yeah, for real, dude.
See, that's your rational older self thinking right there.
You go there and take your job. Your job like, how'd you break your leg? I was jumping off the roof. So you're gonna be out of work for how long? Because you jumped off the roof.
That's right. God
Yeah,
almighty.
man. I was testing out a fucking paper airplane, man. What the fuck?
Airplane. How does that sound, George? How does that sound, George?
Sounds right, bro. I used to fucking jump off the roof with fucking umbrellas and shit.
Really?
Yeah, man.
How did that work out for you?
Mary Poppins?
You know, it was fucking insane when I was
A bowl
like, when I
full
was a
of sugar?
kid. When I was a kid, I'd do fucking crazy motherfucking shit, and you were
Yeah,
like
man.
rubber. Nothing fucking happened, man.
Well,
You're like
what's up
rubber.
with that? Like with the younger generation, like there's this thing called a feeling of invincibility. You
Yeah.
know? And then as you get older, that goes away, obviously.
Yeah.
But what drives a little kid to fucking do dangerous things?
They're not scared. They don't have. You're
You're invincible, dude. You're invincible.
They don't understand their limits.
And because you're invincible, nothing fucking happens to you, man. Like say, I'm gonna take this to a different fucking angle.
Okay.
Drunk drivers, right?
Okay.
They're the ones
Yeah.
that fucking never die in a fucking hell of a
That's true.
fucking
I mean,
accident.
they do die. But
Well, yeah.
Not,
they
not,
do.
Not like yeah.
but,
No,
but
but
statistically, what they've mentioned is because they're so relaxed and so rubbery,
Right,
they just
right.
bounce around and
Yeah,
fucking
because-
nothing happens
No,
to
that-
them.
because
that's-
they're all loose already. And then when somebody crashes and they're all tense, they're scared because of the fucking potential crash.
And that's what they usually attribute to actually the trauma that the person experiences is that their rigidness doesn't let them.
You know what? I think that's right. And I think that it's funny because when you meet people who walk around sort of in life that way, like people who have like general anxiety disorder and so forth, there tends to be a general rigidness to them. And a lot of those folks, in fact, I dare say 100% of those folks, and I'm not claiming to be a scientist, so don't ask me to cite statistics because fuck you. But what I'm saying is, shut up. What I'm saying is, when you walk around that way, it wears your body down. It's sort of, you get this sort of, you're constantly on an adrenaline high, and I believe you do worse just in life.
And that actually spins around to the beginning of the show, right? Change, right? That's the only constant is change, right? I mean, it's an irony, but it works.
Yeah. And it's funny. It can kind of be seen as a metaphor for life, which is be the drunk guy. Be the drunk guy in that even if you're in a car with no brakes and you're going 100 miles an hour and you have no idea where it's going, hey, you know what? Whatever happens, I'm going to be fine. If you can adopt that mentality, then nothing can break you.
I think the mentality that really makes people rigid is the what if this will happen, what if that'll happen, what if this will happen, what if that'll happen, and then that shit really ever happens if you guys ever think about it.
Right.
No, the worst case scenario never really happens.
Well, sometimes.
Sometimes it does, but then you're
prepared.
If you're the drunk guy, it doesn't faze you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's funny, but what you said, George, is actually really interesting, which is Mark Twain said something like, when he was in his 80s, he lived to be like 90 years old. Even though he smoked a bunch of cigars a day.
Yeah.
And he said something like, "I am an old man and have seen a great many troubles, but most of them never happened." Which is that, listen, most things are just sort of in your head. Most things in terms of what's going to happen if I lose my job, what's going to happen if I, if I get this girl pregnant, and I'm not saying be reckless, but what I am saying is, the calmer you are, the more likely your drunk ass is to survive that head-on collision.
Here's a funny question, guys. Do you think the smarter you are, the more susceptible you are to create scenarios that makes you more rigid in life?
Yeah, most definitely, because that's all you're fucking thinking about. You're thinking about endless amounts of possibilities.
It's like paralysis of analysis, right? That's kind of what they call it.
Yeah, you're just analyzing every little fucking thing.
That's right. And listen, I believe ultimately that holds smart people back, if anything. Think about all the guys we went to school with or girls who were nerds. Where are they in life?
Fucking successful.
No, shut up. No, name one.
Getting cheerleaders all the time.
That's what everybody. That's what everybody
no,
says.
No, it's a minute. It's
it's basically a zero, right? In terms of their success, because everybody seems to think that success in school equals success in life. I say no. I say the people who are the most. Well, I shouldn't say it that way. I should more. Okay, it takes more than just being smart to make you successful.
Right.
In fact, smart is a component which, depending on how you handle it, will work for you or against you.
Right.
True.
The way it works against you is you are the smart person who, because your brain is so active, can see all of these pitfalls. But then guess what? Seeing all the pitfalls makes you scared.
And that's where the adventure gene comes in.
Makes you afraid to take risks.
Makes you indecisive. Makes you indecisive, so which
right.
actually makes you freeze from taking action.
Right. But that's when
that's why smart people fail.
Well, but that's when the balance comes between your intelligence and the thrill-seeking gene comes in.
But that's only if you have that gene. What if you're just smart and scared? Most smart people are.
Yeah, well, I understand that, but what I'm saying is like the people that do succeed, they have the intelligence. Obviously, they
not always.
Most of the time.
No, see, that's something you've been fed by the school system.
No. They have that, but their thrill-seeking gene is more intense than their intelligence.
I guess, but that's only if you have that combination.
You know what?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why.
Fine, Jay, for fucking 5% of the population, yes, what you're saying is true.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For a minute,
all 5%. Good job, numbnuts.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
He's talking 100% of the fraction of the 1%.
Yeah.
That's right. I don't know. My point is everybody be like us and get drunk. All right. Time to end this rather ridiculous episode of the JAG Show. Jay, Media Blitz, where can they find us?
Oh, okay. So you can look us up on Facebook.com/JAG Radio and Twitter at JAGRadio1.
Holy shit, man!
Okay,
that
sorry.
really
Yeah.
got to you, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
Everybody, find us on the Super Audio Network. We're on YouTube with the Mr. Dre, and you can find us on JAGRadio.com. And
Fantastic, you drunkers.
Yeah.
Fine. For producer Dre Day All Day, George Antonio, and JD Marcel, I am Alex Martinelli, reminding all of you to never stop learning.